Alright, here's another update on what I've got done. I cut out the back seat and sanded my gouges and put some spot putty over it. I still got to do a little bit more up in here, but I'm thinking I'm going to put the fuel cell, which is basically just the fuel tank I cut up from the underneath. I'm either going to put it over the gouges or I'm going to put it in the back. Probably like right on the axle, because that's how I would do it on a real drag car. Although on an all-wheel drive car it would depend on the weight distribution. But anyways, I cut out some of this seat as well and spot puttied that. I still have to come back in with my Dremel and get these ones. I just cut these out with my X-Acto knife. I'll take the Dremel and grind that smooth, and then I'll spot putty it again. I'm probably going to cut that big hump out and then put some sheet styrene over it, and then put some sheet styrene over there, maybe, because I mean underneath you can see that hump. So, or I'll just like fill it with resin or something. But what do I do to the body? I've attempted to plug these holes with spot putty. I don't think it's gonna work because spot putty is only meant for really, really thin layers, and it's not a two-part, so it doesn't cure. It just basically bakes all the chemicals out. Although this will be sitting for a few months, so if it hasn't baked out by then, I don't think it ever will. But I might pop them out and then just go over it with some melted sprue or whatever, and like I've seen people melt the sprue in cement, then you can brush it on like a putty and sand it. Any tips? You know, I don't want to use Bondo because that's like a waste of Bondo for that 3 little holes. You got to cover this whole thing and then sand everything. But yeah, any tips on how to fill them without Bondo? Be nice. I'm thinking about shaving the brake lights, although I think a drag car would have to have brake lights. But that's it for the body. I'm probably going to buy a race seat from, I think it's VCG Resins. I might buy a turbo setup too, I don't know. Or buy 2 turbos and make a turbo setup. But I'm going to buy a racing seat, but I'm just practicing puttying. You know, I glued the back on and then focus, dang it. Oh my gosh, there we go. I know there's some big gouges in there, but I just focused on trying to putty the edge. That's just one thin coat. You know, getting a feel for it. And I, like I said, I shortened the springs. I cut the springs to the right length for these posts because I cut these down. And I accidentally broke off that, come on. I accidentally broke off that hook, you know, on the other side. See how right there it's got a hook? I accidentally broke that side off. But I shortened up the axle posts. Shortened up the front pretty good too. So that's what that looks like. Got them painted with Color Master or something from Krylon. I'm trying to focus so you can see the, you know, I sanded off all the mold lines. That's a bit rough. I mean, I cut those off. But I sanded off all the mold lines. Like on this axle. back of it's smooth and springs are smooth. And the satin black doesn't cover up the details too bad either. It's still very crisp. And I got the chassis done as well. And like I said, I got the sheet styrene epoxied down, and alligator clamped the crap out of it from the these clips that Chevy Cheeseburger sent me. They were good. And that's just I bought a combo pack of sheet styrene, and this is the second thickest, because the really thin one was almost like paper. This is slightly less than a credit card thickness. I'll have to go find what thickness it is. But I just took the fuel cell on the cardstock, I traced around it, and I cut it out with scissors. It was thin enough that I could cut it out with scissors. And then I just put epoxy all around, because there's the that little frame left. And then I just clamped it down everywhere. And then I'll sand the edge pretty good. I'll putty it and sand it again. And I'll repaint it or whatever. And that's that for now. I'm not going to dry brush this chassis at all or anything like that. It's just going to be straight paint. I might slightly weather it with dry brushing, but I probably won't. I don't know. I just want a clean build. I've dry brushed almost every model, so. But that's all I got for now. Let me know what you think. Any tips or ideas? If you think I should put just open headers on it, or side exhaust on it, or have the pipes come like out, up and around the fender like on a gasser, or you know, anything. Or if there's some cool aftermarket parts that would look really cool on it, you know, stuff like that. Let me know. Adios.